Our okay, we're recording. This is Pro 7, Debbie Kral out of Ocala, Florida. It is February 3rd, 2021. I cannot believe that's the date. And I'm so very excited to have some amazing people on this call tonight, the ones that are listening and also the one that is really going to be telling his story. Think Like a Pro is a organization of 4 people: Vandy Flake, Pro 8, and Pro 8 Kai Hayes, Pro 7 Dr. Jean DeLucia, and myself, Pro 7, that have banded together. We're all cross-line. And what we hope to do is bring some information to our different teams from people they might not hear from otherwise. And we have an amazing person tonight, Jon Court. He is a very accomplished veteran jockey, and he's got an amazing story. He has been a lot of places, rode a lot of different types of horses, and has won a lot. Actually, he has over 4,000 wins as a jockey, which is pretty incredible. But his story is that the part that I love about it, because I'm about health, is this person is still healthy and 60 years old and riding top class horses. That is incredible, because I can't say that there's another person doing what he's doing right now. Part of it's because the individual he is, he really takes care of himself. I don't care how much you want to take care of yourself and what you do for yourself, there are going to be things that happen that you don't have any control of. And he has been able to navigate through a lot of decades of still being at the top of the game. So I truly appreciate who you are, Jon, the kind of person you are, and who you're viewed at, not only as a horseman and a jockey, but as an individual and a person. I've never heard anyone that couldn't say nothing but great words about you because of who you are as a person. So I'm very excited to have you as a friend and a business partner, and now to have you be able to speak to some other incredible people. So if you would, please just start off with, just tell us your story, please.
Okay, well, thank you, Debbie Kral. Thank you for being not only a friend and very supportive and educating me and with LifeVantage, but a phenomenal upline. So building this organization, you've kept it fun and kept it real, whether I was active or sometimes taking a sabbatical. But those that don't know me, my name is Jon Court. I'm married. I'm a father of 4. I've been a professional jockey in the thoroughbred racing industry for 40 years as a jockey. I've been in longer before that but I got licensed 40 years ago, and I've been making a living as a rider. And the thing about being a jockey is it does provide a lucrative, at times, living for your family. So I was able to provide and give my family a comfortable living. But like anything else, when you're on horseback in a professional event, there's them times that not if you're going to get hurt or be sidelined, but when it's going to happen. And over the course of my decades that I have been riding, there have been times I've been sidelined. And even though I would try to provide income flow with policies or other investments, there was nothing else that would really provide for me what I was looking for. And there was one particular time that, once again, I was down. I was out for quite a bit of time. An injury in 2014 injured my hand, where I had to have a major renowned hand surgeon, that's world renowned for that matter, reconstruct one of my hands. So I was out for quite a bit of a time. I was suffering paralysis, and through my therapy, I was really struggling to get this hand to cooperate. And I had tried so many different things. And when I say I tried different things, I tried everything I could under the sun. And though I was introduced by Debbie Kral's downline of this particular product, the NRF2, and the Syn energy that it has with the products, I did take a lot of the products, but it did not have the syngestic energy that it was providing once I learned about Pro Tandem. And I was somewhat a bit stubborn, but I got on the Pro Tandem. And equally as well, I was looking at the company, because I was, as I mentioned earlier, doing other things besides riding that I could possibly do on the side beside investing. So I didn't know about network marketing, multi-leveling. I was actually in Amway and Herbalife and a few other different entities that I was able to make some income. So I was really taking a strong interest not only in the product and what I was learning and finding out about the Pro Tandem, but I also was impressed with the setup of the company's compensation plan. So not only did I start taking the product, and I started taking quite a bit of it, I instantly noticed within the week a difference in my hand. The paralysis was leaving at a rapid pace. I left the therapist very impressed. They told me it would take 8 months to a year. And I would say within 6 months, I was riding full time and winning races. And I think that's not only was I taking the Pro Tandem, but I a little more than doubled up on it. If anything, I wasn't going to shortchange me, but I was back to riding. And I immediately noticed a change not only in my hand, but just my all over health. I just seem to remember horses better, and I seem to be able to focus stronger. Even my physical appearance, people were noticing a difference because of just the effect that it had, as it was biohacking my DNA. Because I was already pretty much thought I knew and followed what I could to stay healthy, to be able to ride and compete at the top level. And with that, I started just really becoming a believer and faithful in pursuing the supplement and the regiment that is provided by LifeVantage. I quit going to the health food store and buying vitamins and supplements and what have you. And I really downsized in the area of what my intake was. So I wasn't up to a meal of pills on a day basis of all kinds of pills. And even with the turmeric, I would take even up to 9 a day. So that was a relief, getting away from the meal of pills. And well, as well with that, people were seeing a difference in me and were listening and wanting to know how everything from how to be healthy, how to overcome injury, health issues, and just overall enjoy a better quality of life on the healthy level. And I would share that information with them. That's all I was doing, was sharing information. And those that were interested would want to look further into that. I would share that information on what the company provided. And with that, I started building over the course of the years. I built it up to a Pro 4 level. And as I mentioned earlier, I appreciated Debbie's help for when she was helping support me. And I did take a couple sabbaticals from just injury or life's course that it's taken me down the roads. But I'm still a firm believer in the LifeVantage and the products. And it's doing wonders. Even here it is 2021, and I'm 60 years old. This week I was voted Jockey of the Week nationally. So that was pretty surprising. And I was also win the Martha Washington this week, which is the largest race so far, just about written in the fillies division, that lines fillies up that are heading on the path to the Kentucky Oaks, which is equivalent to the Kentucky Derby on the filly division. So with that being said, I'm continuing to stay warm by the fire, the LifeVantage fire, and I'd like to continue to build with LifeVantage, because I have seen that down the road that provides a very good opportunity and a lucrative opportunity to build the retirement I'm looking for. And when I say retirement, I'm just looking for that transition, because you can't be a professional athlete. I've already surpassed the age. So I'm looking to build it, and I can see the compensation plan is very capable of providing the comfortable and then some more lifestyle that I'm looking for. And I won't have to retire, as I said, to sit on my hands, but to be fully involved and engaged with the LifeVantage movement and building the organization. So that's it in the shortest term. I know I far exceeded the 2 minute to 4 minute level of telling your story, but I just wanted to let everyone know as much as I can of how much I appreciate what LifeVantage has done, and the products have continued to contribute to my health and the extending of my career on a professional level that I get to compete. So thank you, Debbie.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes, I just appreciate everything that you said. Most people probably don't know really the effort that goes into what it takes for a professional jockey, hours wise, that get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And that's why I know this is 8 o'clock your time, but it's late. And I get that because you've got to get up really early in the morning and be ready every day.
Yeah.
And I truly appreciate what you did. I did that not as quite physically as you did, but having to be there 7 days a week. A lot of people on this call are not horsemen, and they don't realize the devotion that it takes to make great horses. It takes people that are willing to really devote their time and energy. And at the end of it, it's like we really don't have a retirement. We took care of animals. We loved it, and we were fortunate to be at the top at different levels. But in the end of it, there's not any horses taking care of us, and
Yeah.
that was such a fortunate piece for me to understand. When I got involved 8 years ago, I got involved because the products were amazing, and I knew a lot of people that needed this, like jockeys, because they get injured all the time, like horsemen on the ground. As a therapist, when I'd go in a barn, there would always be somebody standing outside the stall, whether it was a jockey or a groom or an assistant trainer. Somebody got hit or kicked or fell down, but they had an injury that you were trying to help them with. And when I saw this product, I was like, wow, I got it was all about horses. Like, we need to do the horses. Like, well, all the people are beat up too, and it doesn't matter really if you're at the top of the game as one of the top jocks, or if it's the guy that's making it happen in the shed row being the groom. They all have injuries and they have problems. And when I realized that what we had was really a solution for so many people, and at first it was all about solutions of health. And then it was like, I was looking to change gears, kind of where you are right now. You can't do that forever. Well, I was a physical therapist for 40 years, and that was long enough. But what else was I going to do? And for me to be able to transition into something in 20 months that allowed me to retire, I just never thought something like that would exist. So I am forever grateful to people that introduced me to this and was able to change my life. And that's what I think most of us in this business do, whether we want to help somebody's health or help their wealth or their retirement, or give them more time with their family and their children, or to be able to travel, something they've never been able to do before. I know being a therapist, you had to be at a certain barn at a certain time. And as a saddle maker, we had to be at the saddle shop building something. And I never had that time freedom. And so this was a totally a different experience for me. And I knowing the horsemen that I know, especially professionals like yourself, we're in that same game. We might have loved what we did, and we're grateful for the animals and the people we were around. But there's a time kind of when we have to say, wow, I know that about the last 10 years I was doing the therapy business, it was like, well, if I get hurt one more time, if my hands don't work today, if, I can't be in a stall with a broken leg, dragging a 50-pound machine around and trying to get out of the way in time. And I thought, this would be a great plan B. What if I just could make $2,000 or $3,000 a month and put it away? And the way I was thinking, which was totally stupid, what if I could put it away so the next time I got hurt, I'd have some extra money,
Yeah.
And then I was able to say, wow, what if this could really be a plan B for me? And I don't know if you can, elaborate on any of that, because, I think we're pretty close on how many years we've been doing something, and it's hard to make a change. And everybody that's on this call, whether they love what they're doing or they're doing it because they have to, because the money's got to come in. What could we say to them that even though it's hard to make that change, how worth it is it when you finally have some freedoms that you maybe never thought you'd have?
Well, I realized that early on that it was a reliable plan B, and it was just something you have to stay dedicated to and continue to just push forward, whether you're education or you're attending some of the seminars and the meetings and just
It's
plugging
the
in.
tools, everything is, I've gone through everything downstairs. Now it's just,
Can everyone please mute themselves? Thank you.
It's just something you have to contribute to the time that it takes, and just be bold enough to share the information. There's always people reaching out and looking for another opportunity, whether it be better health or even a transition of what they're doing at this time, that they can build something that would be that plan B, that they can, as such as myself, that the crossroads will eventually come where I have to not be able to ride horses and races anymore. So I would like to have something that I can continue to build towards, to when I do come to that final crossroads, that it will be a smooth transition. And that's something we have to work to, because one of the things you said there is, well, regardless what we save, and no matter how hard we try to save, it just doesn't ever seem to be enough with the cost of living, or the little costly effective
Not really,
of life,
because it's going to be,
or however
it's
we invest
simple.
in life. So we need to just continue to build with a good organization that can give us that plan B, and it's a solid plan B with a good foundation that LifeVantage provides, with the quality products. And over the course of over half a decade, I still look at other products, and I think that LifeVantage is, with their technology, their peer-reviewed studies, and the fact that we have the PubMed.gov information, that's just, there's a solidarity to that that gives us a solid foundation that we can build on. So that's something that we can look forward and get excited about, and gives us the confidence to share the information with individuals that are out there looking, because there's plenty of people, especially in today's time, looking for something new and something to move on to, whether it be their future or their present time health.
Absolutely. So many times I think in the past, I've been involved for 8 years now. It doesn't matter when you come in. I think most of the time we go, oh, it's so hard right now. But if you'd been in for 8 years, it was really hard 8 years ago, and 7 years ago, and 6 years ago, and 5 years ago. And new people that come in, they think it's hard today. But we've got all these peer studies, and just with what's happened in the last year, how many people are looking for how to stay healthy, how to improve their immune system. More and more people, I think there's a huge population of people that are looking for something besides a pharmaceutical, that are looking at natural health, that maybe wouldn't have been looking at it 2 and 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
So I think our population of people that are looking for what we have, and now that we have the science that backs it up, just the fact that we rang the closing bell at the NASDAQ, last year was huge. There's just more and more reasons. And you've got network marketing experience. You've been in other companies that I hadn't. So I didn't have the belief that you did. And I think a lot of us that come in now that maybe have never done this before didn't have the belief that the proof is real. Brandon,
Are they? No,
can you, yep. Just having belief is, I think, one of the biggest things. And for you to have had the background coming in, because I know it did seem like you had a little easier transition. I just didn't believe any of this was real. I didn't believe network marketing was real. I didn't believe you're really going to get paid. All I looked at was they had peer-reviewed study, not too many. I think there was 3, but that was huge. And so I had to build my belief on that little tiny piece of real estate. And now we have so much more to be able to offer people as far as building their belief, and not 2 products, but 21 products. Actually, it's more than that, because we've expanded the Axio line. So I think that is, you've been in long enough to see that the company's expanded. So I know you take a lot of the products. Can you talk a little bit about maybe the belief that has grown over the time that you've been involved, just because of seeing how it works, having other people experience a similar situation that you have as far as their health improving?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate that I have seen the life-changing experiences from other people that were in the need of not only the support from the organization in building supplemental income, but also with the products that they'd have advanced with. And as a professional jockey, I've used a variety of the products. You mentioned the Axio, and I don't always press the Axio, but I do need to include a full circle of what the products provide. That's just better business sense when you can apply that. It was always tough for me sometimes just because of my schedule is just so unconventional to what most people are out there. So I have to improvise for that. I'm up early, and the last thing I want to do is be waking somebody up to share information. But I just use the opportunity that presents itself, and with the belief of the company is even when I would have certain issues, what I loved about this company is that you can cross the line, and we're doing that now. A lot of companies don't have that. And more companies I know are probably getting that way, but from what I understand. But I think LifeVantage has set a precedence of really how to take the network marketing and multi-level marketing to the level of integrity, and where it really needs to continue to grow, because there is a stigma about it. So you have to get over that belief, and there are some that never do. But I've struggled with that too. But being with the opportunities of the training, where they have the basic training when you first get involved, that you can just at your convenience, at your time. Now we used to do things on a pad and paper, as you may recall, and now they have the apps and they have other avenues and the videos and the short type of small education YouTubes and what have you that even I'm not that familiar with. I'm learning as we go, but it has gained a lot of momentum in the course of the start, to the point to where there's a variety of ways that you can build this organization, your organization, and it helps other people to find where they can be met. So people need to be met at the level that they're comfortable and they can understand. And as I used earlier, is stay close to the fire, because if you stay close to the fire, you're going to get warm, and the more warm you're in the business it gets heated up, and you start creating momentum. And once you hit the level of different types of level of momentum, you'll see your business just grow, and that's very comforting, and it builds your confidence. And there's nothing like those residual checks that come every month that sustains your belief that the compensation plan is by far better than the ones I've seen out there or that I've been interested in, that they're steady, they're solid, and they pay like clockwork every month. So when you build your organization and keep it building, you'll see you're rewarded financially as well. And it's just right now, I think we're one of the top network marketing companies recognized in the country. And believe me, there's probably over 300 to 400, maybe even 600. But we're right up there in the top tier, and we're in the stock market, and we have a solidarity there too. So the belief just continues to grow as long as you stay plugged in.
Absolutely. That's the key word right there, plugged in. And I know it's sometimes hard for us to do that because 99.9% of the people that are involved have another job or two jobs. Or I know the way you work, what your job's like, and it's insane. You just can't squash very much more in there, but you've been able to because you care about people and you know the products work. And so, like you say, it's about sharing the information. Hey, I've got something I think you need to know about. Why would somebody not take a look at something? If you, what I do is I wait for the problem to arise, or wait for, if you wait long enough, you don't have to wait too long. Somebody's going to tell you about something that's not good, whether they work too many hours or they don't work enough hours, or their back hurts or their feet hurt, or they don't have time freedom, or they hadn't had the vacation they wanted. You just listen a little bit, you'll find something that they wish they could change. And it's something as simple as that's what you do, because you're just busy as heck. I can't tell people on this webinar how busy you are. Your life's insane. You go all the time, but you can say words like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Wow, could I send you some information you might be interested in? That takes about 10 seconds. And it's really about trying to find somebody who's interested in what we have now, not last year or a year coming up, but who's interested in listening to this right now. And I heard those things years ago. And I heard people say, wow, I've been talking to this person for, 7 years. And I remember when I started, I was like, 7 years. Are you kidding me? You've been trying to show this, and all of a sudden it was their time. And I saw that happen enough times to where I was like, wow, this, what they've been saying for years is real. I could see it happening. And it's the same thing with, I think, myself and you. There was a point in my life when I was ready to make a change. And somebody could have come to me 3 or 4 years beforehand, and I would not have been ready. I wouldn't have been open. I wouldn't have been sick of what I was doing to be able to say, wow, I'm going to make a change. And I'm willing to be uncomfortable right now for a while to make a change. And I think each and every one of us on this webinar have to realize that we're waiting for that person's time. You're probably more ready now than you were a few years ago.
Yeah.
So it's a funny business. We hear things and we've probably heard the same words 100 times. I know you've been to elite academies, and it's just a timing thing when all of a sudden it goes, oh, that's what they meant, even though it's the same words. And I know you've been to the events, and we're almost at the top at 9:30 or 8:30 your time. Could you just take a minute and tell me what the events meant to you, what you learned, and how important it was to be there?
Well, I was very fortunate that the ones I did get to attend, and I do recommend at every opportunity to not miss an event. But it was just a mind-changing type of paradigm shift when I learned so much more about the products, the depth of the science, and it also just reiterated on the peer-reviewed and the studies with PubMed.gov that where they would go over the product, and the education level is just on a collegiate level to where whenever you would share information with someone, it would just advance you not only with the education that the events would provide, but just with the confidence and the overall network support. You would meet people, you would exchange numbers, and whether across line or up line, down line, and you could relate to them. They would pick up the phone, and it just meant so much to me as far as advancing the growth of my organization. And I just couldn't really express enough that how powerful the effect was when you were able to attend the events.
Awesome. Thank you so much, John. I can't tell you what your friendship means. It's great that we're business partners, but I so appreciate you, not just as a distributor, as a human being, what you bring to the table as a person, especially in the racing industry. You're just an incredible individual, and I thank you so much. And I want to congratulate you on winning your stake this weekend, the Washington stake. You're just an amazing individual to keep going where you're at. There's no one else like you that is at the level you're at, and riding the type of horses you're at. You're taking care of yourself and doing really well. And I just want to thank you so very much for being on this call, especially, I know it's bedtime. So thank you.
Yeah, I got an early morning. And I also want to say thank you to everybody who's online here. I've been definitely noticing all the responses, and so they've not gone unnoticed. I recognize some of you up there, and there's some new comments out there, new individuals, and I just want to thank you all for the comments you're sending out as we enjoy this meeting.
Thank you,
Debbie.
John. I appreciate it. And I'm going to wrap this up. We're just a minute or two after, but make sure that you're registered for our next event, the virtual one and the one that we've got coming up, that we hope, cross fingers, that we're all going to be able to see each other. The events are huge. I've never missed one. I know that if I had not gone to my second one, I would not probably still be in the business. I would always take these products, but you've got to go and get filled up with belief. And it's about not hearing it necessarily from your friends. It's about hearing it from a stranger, which I never thought that was right, but that is the way it works. So each and every one of you, please get registered. And I thank everyone for attending this evening. And John, you're just super special. Thank you so very much for your time. And
thank you, Debbie.
All right. Good night, guys.
All right. Good night.
Good night.